But yeah, I wanted to talk about Michelle Obama. So the black community are currently upset she did not show up for the inauguration. All right, so this is all the presidents arriving for the inauguration. There's Obama. He didn't show up. Michelle was not there. And everybody made sure to point that out.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 44th President of the United States, the Honorable Barack H. Obama.
And I really think Obama is such a cool president. He's just cool. He's got swag. And guys, he's the only one without his significant other. So it does not look good at all. So here's the discussion, guys. And I think the black community are going really, really, hard on this one. Why has she refused to attend? And does it make us look bad, the black community? Guys, I'm not really like a pro-black person. I don't go hard on the paint for that pro-black discussion. However, I do believe it looks suspicious. I do believe that even if she was upset with Trump, or maybe she's still living in the 2017 hype, that she should still be there because her husband is going to be there. It's one thing, guys, if they both decided not to turn up, then they can both feel the heat together. We can just speculate as much as we want, and he could basically defend his wife, and we would be none the wiser. But what it looks like is that it looks like division. So it could be that he, and we can speculate again, this is a speculation, but it could be that he felt that they needed to be there, and she felt, due to the way she felt, she was not going, and they probably agreed that he would go on his own. That is a possibility. Or the more speculation that people are coming up with is that there is trouble in the marriage. I mean, I don't know how we made that leap, but from what I'm hearing online, this is not the first time she's been absent for something, which we heard here. These are all things I'm listening to, and I'm like, well, how are we making those leaps? But it seems as though they're not in agreement in most things from what people are saying. Guys, I have to really preface that, because even I'm listening to some of these and I'm like, okay, we're leaping. So here's the discussion, guys, as husband and wife. If your husband, especially at the level of a presidency, or there's a thing that they used to do back in the day where they call it show face, which is that even if your husband has upset you, but you need to be somewhere, you basically pack up that thing, put it on hold, put it in a box, leave it in the house, and go to the place that you need to go to, smile, hold hands, do whatever you need to do to make sure the world doesn't know what's going on. Smile, be lovey-dovey, and then when you get home, you can go back to being upset. This is a thing, right? I know some people think that's toxic, and if you don't want to do something, you shouldn't do it. You have to remember that you're a unit. You're, as husband and wife, you're together. You're a unit. You're not just there because you get to do whatever you want. You still operate as one, and your disagreements, yes, they make your relationship, because you have to find a way to meet in the middle, right? But there are just certain things that if you need to be somewhere, you need to be somewhere. You can't just cancel it. You can't just say, I'm not coming because I'm upset. You have to go there and represent the family. And we can all agree this is a major event. Come on, it is the major event. Personally, I don't think there's an excuse for her missing it, unless she's unwell or has some form of issue physically, which is possible. She doesn't have to share that with the world. But unfortunately, because it is the biggest event, it is the event, right? It's a presidential inauguration, which he was president before. It's not even that she missed it. It's that he was the only one that didn't turn up. And everybody was there smiling with their wives. I heard somebody say online that even the presidents who their wives know of their infidelity or they have been done wrong, by their husbands are there smiling, which is interesting. Again, it's a thing of old, which is that we don't take our business onto the streets. We don't let people know that things are going on in the house. You fix it in the house. You sort it out in the house. It is a thing. Of course, I'm not saying that if your husband is an abuser or something of that level, that you should stay and cover it up. No, I'm saying, like, if you're just having an argument, you're not seeing eye to eye, you're having disagreement, you have to find a way to fix that. But if you need to go to an event, you go and you smile. That's just how it is. That's my opinion. I don't know. What do you guys think about that? Do you think that's really old-fashioned? Do you think that's wrong? I do think it is something that you do. I do that in our marriage, like, you know, and you have to understand, guys, that as husbands, your wives should be confident enough that even if you're arguing, even if you have disagreements, even if there are issues going on, you won't use that and leave her. Some wives don't argue because they believe they're too afraid because their husbands will leave, or some husbands don't argue because they're too afraid because their wife would leave. You have to be able to be like, I can act up, and I use that loosely, I can voice my displeasure, but I know he loves me. That's such a better way to look at your marriage. I know he loves me, I know he's going to hear me out. But if we gotta go somewhere, we're going together. You can't say, oh, I'm so angry that I'm not gonna go. No. And this is what I mean. If you have a viewpoint that your husband loves you, and this argument is not because he hates you, it's just we're having a disagreement. And guys, you're gonna have disagreements in marriage. There's nobody in this world that won't have disagreements with their wife or their spouse. It's just impossible. So yeah, so in my opinion, and this is what I tell my wife all the time, even if we argue, even if we have issues, just remember, I'm your husband. I'm not your enemy. I'm not trying to see your downfall. It's just in this very moment, we don't agree with this thing, and that's fine. We can revisit it, or we can say, okay, you don't agree and I don't agree. You take a step to this way and I take a step to this way, and we'll leave it there. And we say, okay, this is how we're going to manage this moving forward, and that's it. But if you take your argument to such a level that each person needs to have their way, you're not going to have a successful marriage. You're not. Some arguments you need to lose, okay? Some arguments you need to be like, to be honest, this doesn't really matter to me. I don't really like it, but it doesn't make a huge difference if I do it your way. Like, it doesn't make a huge difference. I don't agree with this because I prefer it to be done my way. But if we do it your way, it doesn't really make a huge difference. You need to lose some. Of course, there are some that you're going to win, right? And if if you're able to put your point across, if your husband loves you, he will listen to you. But it's not every single situation that you need to now decide you have to win this one, and you have to take it all the way in. This is one of the things that are ruining younger marriages, because most people just want to win an argument. And when they don't get their way, they become bitter. Instead of remembering that this is my husband, this is my wife, she loves me, then you would find common ground. So in my opinion, I do believe that Michelle Obama, if it is true that she didn't come because of Trump derangement syndrome, like they say online, that is not a good look for us. I am aware that Trump didn't attend Biden's inauguration, if I remember correctly. But that's a completely different topic. He's made that decision. I'm not sure if his wife attended in his stead, which I doubt she would. But this is the point I'm making, that if Michelle stayed home with her husband, then the discussion would be different. It would just be the Obamas did not attend. But in this case, it's Obama that was there. And some people were saying he looked defeated or something. I don't know about that. I haven't seen the clip in detail to decide what facial expression he had on. But the discussion here is Obama turned up and the wife did not. Why? You know what I mean? So I don't know. What do you guys think? Because I might be wrong. Maybe people didn't even notice. Maybe people just thought more power to her. Maybe he decided that she wouldn't be able to handle the whole ceremony, so he decided to take one for the team. Let me know what you think in the chat. I'd really love to hear what you guys think about this. That's my thoughts on Michelle Obama not coming to the inauguration.